All right, so business owners, real estate investors. So, what is that one list that you do not want to be on if you're looking to be approved or funded for an SBA loan? So, I was talking to a business owner today, and she was looking to apply for an SBA loan. So unfortunately, she got recently got declined from the bank, the local bank, and I'm telling she has great credit, great income. Mainly, the loan officer said, "Hey, everything is great. Let's just finish up the paperwork." And then a week or two later, the banker said, "Unfortunately, I'm unable to do this loan." And the reason why the banker said is because of this hiccup on your credit report. And she's like, "Well, I got 700 plus scores and that kind of stuff. What do you mean?" Well, your your daughter, with her student loan, had some negative history, some default history on that loan. And because of that default history, we're unable to fund this loan. And she was devastated because she had already started paying, and she was looking to do some expansion. She already started paying for, electricians and all these things to help uh, start start everything. So now she's scrambling trying to find financing, and we're the good news is we're looking for we're getting some alternative financing for her. But so what is that one list that can keep you from getting an SBA loan? It's the CAIVRS report, which is CAIVRS, which is a acronym that stands for the Credit Alert Interactive Voice Response System. And basically what it is, obviously the federal government always have these acronyms. It's a federal database used by the government agency to identify individuals who have federal debits or debts that are in default or have had claims paid on the federal loan guarantee. And it was created by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is a HUD, and it's utilized to ensure that people who with a history of delinquency on any federal loans uh, that are not approved, that federal loans are not approved for new government-backed loans. So unfortunately, it's just like a scarlet letter for individuals. If someone has delinquent federal debt, such as a student loan in default or for a foreclosure on a FHA mortgage, their information can and may appear in the CAIVRS system, which could prevent from qualifying for new loans such as FHA, VA, USDA, SBA, or maybe even a new student loan until it's resolved. Okay. Now, the question that you may ask, well, how long does a person's negative information stay on the CAIVRS system? So negative information stays on the CAIVRS system until the federal debt is resolved. And specifically, this could mean that for defaulted loans or unpaid federal debt, the information will remain on the CAIVRS system until that debt is paid, settled, or resolved through a repayment plan. Now, for foreclosures or other loan defaults, that negative entry typically remains up to 3 years after the claim on that loan guarantee has been paid by the federal agency. So even though that can be paid or resolved or paid off, it still can be on your on this CAIVRS system for 3 years afterward. So until the issue is resolved, the individual can request that their name be removed from the CAIVRS system, allowing them to qualify for new government-backed loans. So, but that means that you have to request it, right? You have to make a request. So if you don't request, it'll just stay on there. And that's what happened to this lady. It was on there. Now, who do you call to get your name cleared from the CAIVRS system? Now, to get your name cleared from the CAIVRS system, you need to contact the specific federal agency. And I'm going to go over 3 ways how to get the 3 steps rather, how to clear it. So you need to contact that specific federal agency responsible for that debt that triggered your inclusion in the system. And here's a general approach. So step 1, you got to determine the agency. So like, for example, if the debt is related to a defaulted student loan, you got to contact the U.S. Department of Education. Now, for a defaulted FHA loan or foreclosure, you got to reach out to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is HUD. Now, for other debts, you have to identify that relevant agencies such as the U.S. Department of Agriculture and for USDA loans and the Small Business Administration for SBA loans. All right, now what's the second step? Well, you want to request a resolution. So you'll need to resolve the debt by paying it off or entering in some repayment plan or addressing any errors if you believe that the listing is inaccurate. So the same way, if you have inaccurates on your personal credit, you have to make, here's another system that you have to make sure that the information is accurate. And you ask the agency to update your status and remove your name from the CAIVRS once that debt is cleared or resolved. So cleared or resolved. And then the step 3 is wait for the system to update. So typically once that debt is resolved, it can take up to 10 business days for your name to be removed from the CAIVRS system. Okay. Now, I will say that, the government agencies, unless you prompt them to, there's really no incentive for them to remove it. Not to talk disparagingly on the federal government agencies, because there's a lot, government has a great place and can help a lot of people. However, you may have to prompt them to get this done. So what if you're in a situation where I just can't wait for that to happen? There are other types of financing that you can access, and definitely join our Keys for Business Masterclass. Well, actually, we show you how to access capital without actually taking out a business loan, giving up ownership of your business, or putting up assets like your house. So definitely join that masterclass for more information. And the information will be down below in the show notes, or you can go to keysforbusiness.com/masterclass. Thanks for watching.